92.7. Coming up tonight, chaos at Adjen Kotoku Onion Market, where gunmen allegedly from a rival faction reportedly attacked traders in the market, causing panic and disruption among vendors and buyers. We'll take you to the market live. Also tonight, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, AMA, confirms that trading will not be permitted on the Kaneshie footbridge once the planned rehabilitation works are completed. And later, the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers COPEC pushes for removal of the cedi levy imposed on fuel.
What we would expect that the cabinet meeting would centralize their discussions on would simply have to be our buffers, what you will call the resilience. The president said rightfully at the meeting.
We'll hear from COPEC and another energy stakeholders as President Mahama convenes cabinet meeting on Thursday on the details of these and more coming up shortly. My name is Grace Hammoah Agyemang. Before that, Christabel is here with the news summaries. Christabel, what do you have?
The Food and Drugs Authority has issued an urgent public health alert following the discovery of falsified HIV diagnostic kits on the Ghanaian market, warning that their use could lead to dangerous misdiagnosis and delayed treatment. In a statement, the regulator identified the counterfeit product as Visitec CD4 Advanced Disease Test Kits bearing lot number 0001586. The falsified kits incorrectly list Omega Diagnostics Limited as the manufacturer. However, genuine kits are produced by Akubio Limited and carry a different lot number 0002172 along with distinct product specifications. Away from that, the Western Regional Minister Joseph Nelson has issued a strong warning to individuals engaged in illegal mining activities on rubber plantations in the region. The caution follows a joint visit by the Western Regional Security Council and the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMOS, to assess the impact of illegal mining on rubber plantations. Now, in a Facebook post on Saturday, April 4, Mr. Nelson said the visit was prompted by a series of complaints from the management of Ghana Rubber Estate Limited over the extensive damage caused by illegal miners. Now, to some economy stories, the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Pandit Isiama, has highlighted the high cost of maintaining macroeconomic stability despite improved economic indicators, raising concerns over the burden of monetary tightening on the central bank and its impact on credit and business growth. Finally, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, AMA, has confirmed that trading will not be permitted on the Kaneshie footbridge once the planned rehabilitation works are completed. The head of public affairs at the AMA, Gilbert Nyankra, reiterated the Assembly's plans to permanently remove traders from the bridge. And that's all we have for the news summaries here. For more details, kindly check out our website, 3news.com. I am Christabel, Success Treve.
Christabel, thank you for the news updates. Let's go right into the details of the bulletin now. And there's reported chaos at Adjen Kotoku Onion Market, where gunmen allegedly from a rival faction reportedly attacked traders at the Adjen Kotoku Onion Market. A viral video on social media showed attacks at the market, causing panic and disruption among vendors and buyers. We are joined on phone by Alhaji Usman Muhammad Sidi. He is Secretary of the Accra Onion Sellers and Importers Association. Alhaji, thank you for your time. I know it's a holiday. Thank you for making time to talk to us. Can you talk to us about what happened in the market today?
Okay, thank you, madam. What's happening in the market today is that among the various sectors of Onion Association in Adjen Kotoku Onion Market, there is some misunderstanding lead to the usual of loading Nigerian owners, and that escalate to Nigerians also block their border, allowing Nigerian, Cote d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo trucks to enter through Ghana. The reason is the function of Ghanaian traders have some organization of West African Association, and we are all together concerning onion trade. And there is a decision that onion have been regulated, and all onion sectors have some quantities that they should have to import. And doing that, the Nigerian and Niger onion importers, they come to the market, they normally import their onion to Accra Onion Sellers Importers. And the other association requested that those onions that have been importing to Ghana have to be split among the various associations. Therefore, the Nigerians' refusal to split that onions to various associations lead to stop them not to offload their onions into the market. So this also raised attention that the Nigerians also have no option than to stop all onions coming to Ghana or even beyond. So they also closed their borders, no entry. This was being in negotiation for about 3 days now. So today we came to the market to negotiate and see how best we can resolve and then let the onions offload. And one various sector of the Onion Association attacked the market of Accra onions, which result in gun firing, machetes, and a lot of destruction. Some trucks, some were wounded, taken to the hospital. Motorbikes were destroyed. Things have been destroyed into the market of Accra Onion Sellers Importers.
Alhaji, so what is the current situation in the market now?
Now situation is calm in the market now, but the divisional commander was there to let peace prevail. And they also called us to meet at the police station tomorrow to see how we can settle the issue.
So if you just joined in, we are speaking to Alhaji Usman Mohammed. He is Secretary, Accra Onion Sellers and Importers Association, briefing us on some chaos that happened in the market earlier today as a result of misunderstanding between Ghanaian onion importers and their Nigerian counterparts. You can quickly go to our Facebook page, 3FM97. We are showing you pictures and videos of exactly what happened today. Alhaji tells us people were injured, there were gunshots, and some motorbikes were also destroyed. Alhaji, so the people who were injured, how many are they? What is their current situation? Then we'll talk about what leadership of the market intends to do. Talk to us about the people who are injured. How many and where are they now?
Who are injured, they may be about 2 to 5, because when the scene happened, I was at the police station by then. Exactly, I know it's maybe about 3 to 4.
Hello, Alhaji.
Hello, I'm listening.
Right. So, Alhaji, now, leadership of the markets, what have you done previously to prevent such things from happening? Or the level of collaboration between the market's leadership and even government?
What the divisional commander did is that causing all this. So they call upon all the leadership to talk to their youth.
Alhaji, I'm losing you.
They meet at tomorrow at the regional commander's office.
And we also know that the Trade Ministry has also called leadership of the market for a meeting.
Do you know
about
the Trade
that?
Ministry also called. Trade Ministry also called.
Hello, Alhaji.
Will be Hello?
Yes, Alhaji. Are you attending the ministers' meeting? When is it?
They said it's at 2 o'clock. I don't know what time we finish this meeting at the regional commander's office. Then we proceed to.
Right. Alhaji, thank you for talking to us. Unfortunately, we seem to be losing the conversation with Alhaji, but he's been telling us about what happened at the Adjen Kotoku Onion Market earlier today. Some armed gunmen attacked the market, suspectedly from some other African country, because of some disagreement around amount of onions that each group can sell. He says they are meeting the divisional commander tomorrow to talk peace and later also meet the trade minister. We'll definitely bring you more on this and what will be the outcome of these two meetings, even as they work towards having peace in the market. Still talking about markets, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly has confirmed that trading will not be permitted on the Kaneshie footbridge in the Kaneshie market once the planned rehabilitation works are completed. The Kaneshie footbridge was closed on April 2 for urgent rehabilitation after safety concerns were raised. The AMA expects the repairs to take several months, with the work ultimately improving but the structural integrity of the bridge and pedestrian safety. For more on this, let's engage PRO of the AMA, Gilbert Ni Ankra. Mr. Ankra, thank you for your time this evening. Has work started on this footbridge and what's the progress of work?
Thank you very much for the opportunity, and on behalf of the Mayor, Honorable Michael Papalote, we say a happy start to all your cherished viewers. The work on the bridge has not commenced yet. But looking at issues of safety and how threatened it is, the mayor deemed it fit to close it now. We are looking at beginning work in the next 1 to 2 months. That's where we'll get our men to start working on the bridge. But currently, just as we all know, the bridge has been closed, looking at issues of structural integrity with respect to how strong it is now.
We know that it is illegal to work or to ply a trade on the bridge, but there's also a number of people who do such on the bridge. Did you have any conversation with them on an alternative market for them?
Yes. Let me state that Mayor Honorable Michael Papalote played an important role personally to ensure that our traders move away from the bridge. From last year, since he assumed office, he has been engaging the traders to the extent that one of the engagement, he had to give them some capital to inject into their various business. The Assembly has also ensured that those who are on the bridge are provided some alternative areas to ply their trade within the Kaneshie market and that particular area. Currently, as we speak, we don't have any trader on the bridge. The challenge we have currently is that we have some of the traders around and under the bridge. As part of engagement, Mayor Honorable Michael Papalote has assured them that measures will be put in place to get them some areas within the markets to ply their trade. That has been done. And we are hoping that as it has been closed, they will not be plying their trade, especially under the bridge and its environs, to avoid any form of disaster.
Mr. Ankra, so the Kaneshie has 2 footbridges, what we usually call the small one, which is close to the Mataiko area, and then there's the big one around the Abosokan area. Which ones are we talking about?
We are talking about both bridges. As we speak, both bridges are not that strong enough. So the 2 bridges will be renovated, looking at issues of structural effects, as I said earlier. So the 2 bridges are what we are looking at now.
And if people are not supposed to work around the bridge, but there are people working under the bridge, that same area is also more like a lorry station where pedestrians and passengers wait for their vehicles. What happens then?
Yes, so what is happening is that as an assembly, we are not doing this alone. We are working closely with the police, Kaneshie police. They played an important role to ensure that alternative routes, we even position officers there to aid in traffic management and all that. Currently, if you look at what is happening within that particular enclave, of course, under the bridge, we have some transport operators coming there to load. We've asked all of them to move a bit further away from the bridge. You know, for instance, if you are coming the first bridge, they are under that bridge. We've moved them away from that bridge towards the Kaneshie market enclave itself. So they are not around that bridge, and this is also to help with respect to traffic management and all that. So all activities within that particular enclave. As part of engagement, for instance, Mayor even engaged we have the Takrady traders also at one side. So yes, they are operating at the other side. But those who are loading towards Kaneshie, Odoko, Kaswa, those are the transport operators within that particular area. But we've engaged them and asked them to move away from that area. And that has been done as I speak.
Mr. Oka, maybe my final one. What is the assurance you're giving to traders, passengers, drivers, and everybody who one way or the other has got something to do with the bridge, especially with completion of work, so that we don't have a situation where work starts and it stalls and then there's this back and forth and all of that?
First and foremost, let me use this opportunity once again on behalf of the Mayor, Honorable Michael Kpakpalote, to apologize for any inconvenience that will be caused as a result of the repair work. But just as the Mayor has said, this has to do with issues of safety, and we wouldn't want to sit down for anything just that has happened at Newtown to happen in this very area. We want to assure traders and pedestrians, everybody, traders within that particular enclave to cooperate with the Assembly, especially with what is coming on. With respect to even alternative route that has been created, they should follow the various signs, listen to the officers that have been placed within that area to manage traffic. And soon, just as we said as an assembly, the work will begin, and we are hoping that within 6 to 9 months it will be completed. Let me also state that, that particular enclave drainage facilities will be worked on within that enclave. So the roads ministry is even looking at blocking that particular stretch to make way for the construction of the drains within the Accra Academy all the way. So we are looking at immediately the road is open. After completion, the bridge would also be functional to ensure that pedestrians will move about their various days. So they should cooperate with the Assembly. And this is not only with respect to the Kaneshie. They should cooperate on whatever we are doing in issues of sanitation. Just as we know the rains are coming, we are doing our desilting. They should cooperate, support the Assembly. And I can assure you that with policies involved, we'll be able to build a city, develop a city, and Accra where we can all live in and love it.
Sankra, thank you for talking to us. We've been engaging Gilbert Ni Ankra. He is the Public Relations Officer of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. He says that the rehabilitation work on the Kaneshie the 2 footbridges will last between 8 and 9 months. We've already done 4 months of the year. And so if my calculation is right, then it means for the rest of the year, the 2 footbridges will be shut down until work is done. If you use that area or that stretch, you might want to advise yourself on that. Moving on, authorities at the Metro Mass Transit Limited are optimistic of clearing all the first batches of 100 buses imported into Ghana by the close of this week. The Minister for Government Communications, Phyllis Kwachofosu, announced the arrival of a new fleet of buses to help ease ongoing road transport challenges across the country. The minister outlined government efforts to improve public transport and reduce pressure on commuters. Talking about pressure on commuters, the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers COPEC has called for the removal of some taxes on fuel, including the cedi levy imposed on fuel. Cabinet will this Thursday meet to deliberate on measures to mitigate the effects of the ongoing war in the Middle East on fuel prices. Pump prices have seen its highest rise in over a year, with fears of a further hike with fresh threats of escalation in the ongoing war. President Mahama over the weekend hinted at plans to mitigate the impact of the fuel price increase, which, according to many analysts, has the potential to derail economic progress by many nations, including Ghana. Let's listen to President Mahama speaking about the meeting.
I've called for an emergency cabinet meeting to decide some measures we can take to cushion the petroleum price while we expect that the war comes to an end.
We can now listen to the Executive Secretary of COPEC, Duncan Hammoah, who has been explaining what this meeting means for Ghana and his expectations. He spoke to my colleague, Bawana Igbeta.
Clearly, this is a follow-up from the earlier engagement I think the President had with all of us civil society actors in the country, following from which issues of fuel pricing came up. One of the key things that Ghanaians are currently grappling with, if you recall, GPRT is already threatening increasing transport fares by as much as 20%, and for which they are scheduled to meet the Transport Ministry this week. And so it's one of those major issues of concern, and I am happy that the President is clearly in tune with what the people are asking for and is conveying this cabinet meeting just to look at ways of mitigating fuel price hardships on Ghanaians. If you currently have diesel around 17, approaching 18, it should be a source of worry, especially when your cedi has remained fairly stable within the 10-11 region. The fuel pricing situation could force the cedi also to depreciate at some point if it continues dragging, because you would need a dollar to import the fuel. So there's a dichotomy between what the fuel prices become and what your exchange rate and, for that matter, inflationary pressure. I am happy that this cabinet meeting is being conveyed. What we would expect that the cabinet meeting would centralize their discussions on would simply have to be our buffers, what you will call the resilience. The President said rightfully at the meeting that one of the resiliences that he probably would look at is to remove some of the taxes, including the 1 Ghana cedi that was slapped on fuel last year. Removing taxes alone, unfortunately for me, will not do the trick at this point, because you are approaching a season where any protraction of this conflict currently would lead to fuel shortages. And if you recall, we had stated a week earlier.
You've been hearing the Executive Secretary of COPEC, Ben Duncan Hammoah there. Let's move on and talk to the Executive Director of the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy, SEMC, Benjamin Nsia. Mr. Nsia, thank you for your time again. You've heard the President. There's been the suggestion that the removal of the 1 cedi levy could ease prices. What would you expect from that cabinet meeting this week?
I think my expectation will be more of strengthening the cedi and ensuring that the cedi appreciates more than what we have currently on the market than tax cuts, because if you do any tax cuts without appreciating the cedi and critically looking at the prices of the product on the international market, these tax cuts may be eroded in the first window of May, and that still will not stop the commercial transport operators, or CTOs, from agitating for higher fares or increments in transport fares. So I think that our focus should be on how to strengthen the cedi, or if we do have many dollars available in our reserves, maybe push some of them onto the market to ensure that at least the cedi appreciates by about 10%, because I was just doing the math. If the cedi even appreciates by about 10%, that means that about 1 Ghana cedi is off the build-up, and still you maintain and get your levies and then taxes for other government fiscal policy measures. So I think that the focus should be strengthened, because looking at the figures, as we speak, some sell diesel around 18 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos per litre. And based on the price indicators reported by MP and also observed on the international trading platforms, price of diesel will likely be around 20 Ghana cedis per litre beginning 16th of April. So even if you take the 1 Ghana cedi out, still price of diesel will be around 19 Ghana cedis per litre. And still this will not stop CTOs from agitating for higher fares for their membership. So I think that we should try and then within the short term find ways to strengthen the cedi, maybe appreciate by about 20% to ensure that price of these products are quite lower than what the market will see them to be.
Right, Mr. Nsia, thank you for talking to us. We all look forward to the outcome of that cabinet meeting. We've been speaking with Benjamin Nsia. He is the executive director for the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy, SEMST. Let's just stay on this subject. And amid growing economic pressures, public transport providers are seeking fresh discussions with authorities over a potential upward review of fares. The move reflects concerns within the sector about sustaining operations as expenses continue to climb, setting the stage for a decision that could directly affect commuters and the wider economy. Here is a report by Judith Brown. Right, we'll bring you that report in our subsequent bulletins. And government has pushed for the suspension of the upward adjustment of sachet water production. The Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, in a statement released today, commended the Ghana Plastic Manufacturers Association, GPMA, and the National Association of Sachet and Packaged Water Producers, NASWAP, for their cooperation and suspension of the planned price adjustment. According to the ministry, this dedication reflects the government's commitment to protecting consumers and ensuring market stability. It further assures the public that the price of water will not increase today, adding consumers can continue to purchase sachet water at the current price. Here is Apiakusi Adumaku, a public policy expert and also director of the West African Regional Center of CAT International, expressing his views on this development.
We think that the decision by government to halt the increase of the sachet water is fair and reasonable, because what the association decided to do is that they want to become like cartels and engage in price fixings. When you look at the production of sachet water, not all of sachet water manufacturers source their raw materials from Middle East, which has been affected by the war there. Some may be sourcing here from Nigeria, some even Ghana, China, US, and other countries. And so for you to use the war in Middle East as a pretext for increasing your prices by 50%, we think that it is not the best. And so it calls for the government to step in, engage with them. And again, not all manufacturers have the same cost of production. Some companies are using efficient technologies, some are using solar energy, so their cost of production is low, and so they can sell at lower prices. Some can decide to sell a bag of sachet water for 10 cedis, some even 9 cedis. So when the association meets an association says that let's sell it at 15 cedis, what we are trying to do is that those who can easily sell it for 11 cedis are now being forced to sell it at 15 cedis. This is a conspiracy against consumers. And if we allow this conduct to continue, the next time we'll be hearing that Watches Sellers Association of Ghana will also say that now a bowl of watches is now 50 Ghana cedis. And the Car Washers Association of Ghana will say, look, when we wash a car, 4x4 is 50 Ghana cedis. So this kind of behavior whereby associations are using their network to fix prices or come up with uniform pricing is what is wrong.
You've been listening to Adomako Kisi of CATS International. Meanwhile, some consumers have also been reacting to the development. Let's listen to them.
I didn't buy today. Then they talked me saying, this week they sell 10 cedis. The last time they said, I did buy 8 cedis. Then now they say 10 cedis. I don't know what I could sell. Now, me, I say I will sell 50%. The people say she won't buy 1 cedis. They say, no, let's sell 50 pesos. No, the people send the water. They say they will sell 1 cedi. I sell 50 pesos for you.
How much do you normally buy water?
50 pesos. But the bag, some people sell it 8 cedis. And some people also sell 5 pieces of the water for 2 cedis. By land, they said they will be increasing it to 70 pesos. And some said they'll sell it 3 for 2 cedis. That's what I know.
It will affect me a lot because I have plenty children at home. One child will drink water about 5 or 6 a day. So imagine, so it's 6 cedis for water. So what about their food? Only one child though. How much less those who have like 6, 5 distance? So it will affect me a lot. And it will affect those who are, especially we that we don't have. They're poor people, no, little poor, no. It will affect us. So I agree with government because once the pure water there, it's too much. Ghana, we don't see these things. And the water, at least the money, the 20 pesos and the 10 pesos is Ghana money. We have to use it. But they are trying, Ghanaians are trying to ban that 20 pesos. Because of that, if they want to increase something, they increase it 50 pesos, 1 cedi. Instead of them to increase it maybe 60 pesos. Then we add 10 pesos and buy it. That's one they agree. But 1 cedi pure water is too much for us. It's too much. So government, please do something about it too. Otherwise, we will run from our own country. We can't buy pure water and drink. We have to drink that galamsey water and get infected too.
So you had some consumers there. Well, varied views. Let us also know what you make of this. Well, it's been suspended by government, but if the cost of water is to go up, especially sachet water, how would that affect you? She also raised a concern about vendors not accepting the 20 pesos coin and the 1 peso coin. I think it's a conversation that we need to have because it's very uncomfortable. But moving away from that, the Public Accounts Committee sitting, which took place just last week in Accra, had some confrontations, exchanges, and shocking revelations that raised serious concerns about how ministries, departments, and agencies manage public finances and claims. A look at the 2024 Special Audit Report by the Auditor General show how poorly the Ghana Integrated Financial Management Information System (GIFMIS) is used in keeping records. Question Yale recaps the biggest stories.
What started as a usual business quickly took an early twist of exchanges when a former procurement director at the Agri Ministry revealed some party people hijacked warehouses and stopped the supply of rice.
Initially, the party people prevented him, and subsequently, the supplier owned his agent, so they didn't give him access to continue the transportation.
When was this? When was this done?
That is after the election.
After the election?
Yeah, we have to get the military to even intervene, but still.
A member of the committee, Edem Agbana, who sought clarity on this, later had exchanges with leadership of the committee.
What your deputy ranking has said, the answer is contradictory to what the deputy ranking.
Respectfully, young man, honorable MP, please, your chairman has spoken. I think we should end it. You are not more party-like than your chairman who is here taking over the affairs of what we are doing. Respectfully.
Madam Chair, respectfully, I take strong exception to that statement.
Respectfully.
I asked the question because this is a committee of Parliament. Parliament is a house of records.
Take over and do what is expected. Please.
With tempers flying high, the chairman of the committee exerted his authority and directed immediate ceasefire.
Okay, quiet. I'm in charge here. Quiet. Why can't you guys show a little bit of respect to me? What do you mean? Madam, what you said has brought some controversy. The rice is there.
Yes.
They prevented you at that time to go and access the rice.
Yes.
Can you have access to it now?
No.
Why not?
The agent is still not giving us access.
As if that was all, more shocking findings were made. One was that the NPP government in 2024 paid 21 million cedis for renovation of the Black Star Square for that year's Independence Day celebrations, although the celebration did not happen there.
The 7th Independence anniversary was moved to Kuforudua. That's where it took place, after the award of the contract. So certainly it's true. What you are saying is very true, but we also had higher authority. Once they say move, we are moving. Sit, we are sitting. That's it. Thank you.
Even more troubling was how a former procurement director at the Defense Ministry allegedly falsified documents amounting to 4.8 million cedis to procure vehicles to monitor the 2024 elections, but no vehicle was delivered.
The supplier came heavily on us that he had information that we are not going to pay for the vehicles. and so demanded to take the vehicles away. So we considered the issue that to release the vehicles to the supplier and then bound him to keep them for us by extending the contract. Because at the time...
With whose authority did you do this?
Well, it was advice I gave to management.
You,
yes,
in your capacity as?
No, it was advice I gave, like, this is the request from the supplier.
A whole military institution. In your capacity as, what's your role, please?
I was the director for procurement.
Director for procurement?
Yes.
Just to let you know, I'll have a special report to the Attorney General for your prosecution.
Also, 2 other officials formerly at the Sanitation Ministry were summoned for making claims of over 8 million cedis to construct toilet facilities across the country. Yet, the project was never executed. But in less than 10 years, the supporting document was sent to National Archives.
The officers who handled this transaction are still at post in other ministries. The director for procurement was one Mr. Theophilus Okan. He is still at the Ministry of Defense. And Mr. Bright Odro Kwatin, he is now Director of Finance at the Ministry of Trade and Agro-Business. So they are still alive, they are still in public service, and I don't want to be a victim of what the Bible says, that I was made to answer questions for which I have no idea about. Archives, I don't know, the thing is not up to 10 years, and you are taking them, you say that they've been sent to archives. And Mr. Chairman, we have the names of the contractors here.
And before the sitting would conclude, it was revealed 20 million cedis was paid by the District Assembly's Common Fund on 31st December 2024 for mobilization works on a parliamentary service hospital. Till date, the contractor has not been given a site to start work, but the money is gone.
An agreement was reached to pay 15% mobilization of about 108 million, out of which 20 million cedis was paid.
So my question is, where is this parliamentary service hospital? Have they started the building? We've already paid 15% mobilization.
Mr. Chairman, it is my understanding from the letter received from Sienna Services that the money they received went into project design and technical planning, site assessments, consultancy services, arrangement of bonds and guarantees, and insurance. However, they also did indicate that they were asked to change the project site. The new site has not been given to them yet, and therefore work has stalled.
The Public Accounts Committee has ended 8 hearings in Accra, with the chairperson recommending effective use of the gift mix system to ensure effective record keeping.
Well, a report by my colleague Christian Yale. The committee has ended its sitting in Accra. They are moving to other regions, and so you should be on the lookout. They might be in your region subsequently. And that is how we end the holiday edition of Hotedition on 3FM 92.7. It came to you from our studios here at Adesawe Kanda, Accra. My name is Grace Hammoah Agyemang. Thank you for joining us. Log on to 3news.com for some more stories. Good evening. Enjoy the rest of your holiday.